Wild Talents by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 1a. You know, I can only surmise about this, but John Henry Sanders of 75 Colville Street, Derby, England, was the proprietor of a fish store, and I think that it was a small business. His wife helped. When I read of helpful wives, I take it that that means that husbands have large businesses. If Mrs. Sanders went about shedding scales in her intercourses, I deduce that theirs wasn't much of a fish business. Upon the evening of March 4th, 1905, in the Sanders home, in the bedroom of their housemaid, there was a fire. Nobody was at home, and the fireman had to break in. There was no fireplace in the bedroom. Not a trace of anything by which to explain was found, and the fireman reported. Origin unknown. They returned to their station, and were immediately called back to this house. There was another fire. It was in another bedroom. Again, origin unknown. The Sanders, in their fish store, were notified, and they hastened home. Money was missed. Many things were missed. The housemaid, Emma Piggott, was suspected. In her parents' home was found a box, from which the Sanders took, and identified as theirs, 5, and a lot of such things as a carving set, sugar tongs, tablecloths, several dozen handkerchiefs, salt spoons, bottles of scent, curtain hooks, a hairbrush, Turkish towels, gloves, a sponge, 2 watches, a puff box. The girl was arrested, and in the Derby Borough Police Court, she was charged with arson and larceny. She admitted the thefts, but asserted her innocence of the fires. There was clearly such an appearance of relation between the thefts and the fires, which, if they had burned down the house, would have covered the thefts, that both charges were pressed. It is not only that there had been thefts, and then fires. So many things had been stolen that, unless the home of the Sanders was a large household, some of these things would have been missed, unless all had been stolen at once. I have no datum for thinking that the Sanders lived upon any such scale as one in which valuables could have been stolen, from time to time, unknown to them. The indications were of one wide grab, and the girl's intention to set the house afire, to cover it. Emma Piggott's lawyer showed that she had been nowhere near the house at the time of the first fire, and that, when the second fire broke out, she, in the street, this off evening of hers, returning, had called the attention of neighbors to smoke coming from a window. The case was too complicated for a police court, and was put off for the summer assizes. Derby Mercury, July 19th. Trial of the girl resumed. The prosecution maintained that the fires could be explained only as of incendiary origin, and that the girl's motive for setting the house afire was plain, and that she had plundered so recklessly, because she had planned a general destruction, by which anything missing would be accounted for. Again, counsel for the defense showed that the girl could not have started the fires. The charge of arson was dropped. Emma Piggott was sentenced to 6 months hard labor for the thefts.